what after you have done all these things. Now I'll just stop the screen share because I don't want you people to just staring at the screen and everything. I'll just stop it down and let's have a conversation about it. So when you basically are done with all these things, like, okay, you know how web works, you know how websites work, you know how networks is happening, how, you know how data is taking transfer. Now what after that? Now that's when the catch comes in, and you should figure out what your interest lies in. So there are different domains like web application security, mobile application security, which are clustered to make one term, that is application security. There are security engineers which are which makes the server hard, that okay, we set some rules. There are engineers who set the firewalls on. So there are a couple of different roles. So today we'll be talking about how to become a application security engineer, which I am, and I'll be I'll have the I have the credibility to tell you about that. So basically, when you study all those things, that okay, I know all the prerequisites, now what's next? So probably Akash would know there is a list made of vulnerabilities which we find on web, that are OWASP top 10. So if you are going for any security engineer interview that is about product security or application security, you should always focus on OWASP top 10. Now I'll just open that OWASP top 10 screen and I'll just show you how to do that and how to read that thing. Okay. Okay. Is my screen visible?
Yep.
Okay. So basically, when you see it, you'll just start reading from A1 to A10. But experience, when they're done that, start from A10. Right. So these are the vulnerabilities, or say categories of vulnerabilities, which you will be asked in your security interviews. If you're a fresher, these things will be asked from you. Right. So what you will do is pick one vulnerability, suppose SSRF, that's server side request forgery. So now go into it, read what it is, what actually SSRF is, right? What actually this vulnerability is all about. And yes, if anything is going above your head, just stop me there. Just ask me, okay, what we are talking about. I'll explain the background and then I'll move forward. My motive today is not, just doing this 1 hour session or anything. You should get something out of it. If I have to give half an hour more, I have no issues in that. So just stop me then and there, ask, okay, what is this, bhaiya? I'll answer that question and then we'll move forward. I'm into no hurry. Cool. Okay. So what you will do is, so when you are giving a security interview, the least you're expected. So from a fresher, security interviews are not too hard for a fresher, right? What they expect from you is good technical knowledge, basic, like very clear basic technical knowledge, and good communication skills, and some sort of practical knowledge, right? So first we'll talk about good basic skills, right? Basic knowledge. So what basic knowledge is that you should know, okay, if I am going for product security role, that is securing their websites and mobile applications. So you should know, okay, what kind of flaws a website can have, right? What are the most basic ones which I should know? Am I making myself clear? Okay, guys. Yes or a no would be really appreciated. I would clap if you say yes or no. Okay. Okay. So now you should know actually what are the basic flaws that can happen. That much they expect from a fresher. So, and for that basic flaws, how you will approach those basic flaws, because you don't know nothing about, like you know nothing about web application security. So how you will go around them? So you'll go to OWASP top 10, start reading from the 10th vulnerability or 10th flaw, click it. So this thing is very, gist form of the vulnerability. They'll just give a description, they'll give a how to prevent, some points, and some more information. But if you want to know more about that vulnerability, okay, I want to know more about that vulnerability. Okay, how does SSRF actually happens? What is the actually underlying principle behind this vulnerability, right? Because the more you clear your basics, the more you'll be like, the better you'll be able to answer, right? Okay, clear. So now about a vulnerability, what are the things you should know? You should know the what the vulnerability does. That okay, if SSRF is, what actually happens in SSRF, right? You should know some exploitable criteria, that okay, we can exploit this in this way, right? And you should know how to mitigate those vulnerabilities. Cool. First is you should know what actually the vulnerability is. Second is you should know the basic exploiting techniques. Third, you should know is how to mitigate those vulnerabilities. Am I making myself clear? Okay, guys, you can just, I have no issues in if you turn on your mics and say yes. So you can say yes, that will be really, great. So now you'll get from OS side, you'll get, okay, what is the description of the vulnerability, what actually the vulnerability is, some gist. You'll get how to prevent it. Okay. From application layer, you actually, okay, from application layer, how to prevent it from application layer, right? So you'll know how to prevent it. But for actual, how to exploit actual vulnerability, what I would say is, yeah, what I would say is, just go to this, just a second. Just go to post web academy and go to academy. Okay, if you want to sign up, if you want to sign in, you can, but I'll just show you without signing in. So we all learning material. Okay, where is SSRF? Server side request for the, just go here and you'll get plenty of material about SSRF. So you'll get to know what is SSRF. You'll get to know what is the impact of SSRF, common SSRF attacks. So here you'll get to know how to exploit very basic SSRFs. There are complexity in terms of exploitation. Some vulnerabilities are really tough to exploit. They'll not ask you those. They'll just ask you basic scenarios. So what I would recommend is, they have apprentice, master or practitioner, aisa kuch. They have this, the practitioner, apprentice. So basically what I would tell you to do is just do all the apprentice wale labs. If you do all the apprentice wale labs, you'll get to know how these vulnerabilities basically function, how to exploit them. Cool stuff. Great. Not getting a yes or no. Okay. So if you say yes, then I'll move forward. If you'll say no, I would love to repeat it.
Yes, cool.
Okay. So now this is about vulnerabilities. Okay, how we should go about vulnerabilities, right? So now what you can do is just go to this, hide floating meeting. Just go to this, read all that stuff. Okay, and also read this one, attack scenarios. You'll get to lot about you what actually you can do from an SSRF. Go back. Security logging and monitoring, failures, software data integrity. Suppose broken access control, right? Now just jump to first, that is the most severe one, and broken access control. Okay, what is broken access control? How does this happen? How to prevent it? Just go here Go back, and there might be something related to broken access control or exactly broken access control, because this website is really good in terms of uh, vulnerabilities. If you go to business logical vulnerabilities, they are the one which have that broken access control vulnerabilities. So one more thing, if you just want to if you just want to go around the labs, you can just click on academy, go and view all labs, and then you can just view all labs. SQL injection, cross-site scripting, these are all vulnerabilities. If you just do the apprentice ones, you'll crack any security interview. That's my claim. If you just do the apprentice ones, you don't even need to go to practitioner or expert. जैसे how many of you are familiar with lead code? Okay, you people are from NIT. I expect you people to know about lead code. Okay, that's great. You can obviously. So जैसे lead code में होता है, there are some easy questions, there are some medium questions, there are some hard questions, there are some medium hard questions. So for going in any product based companies, you just need to uh, do all those medium hard type questions. Here I am saying you, if you do all the uh, practice all the apprentice ones lab, you'll crack any interview. And do some some practitioner wala. There's no need to go about all the practitioners and all the apprentice. Just apprentice, all the apprentice, and some practitioner also. 1-2 practitioner will do the work. You getting it? So you know now how to collect the basic information, basic vulnerability information, right? How to get that basic vulnerability knowledge.
Yes, Bhaiya.
Great. So now coming to some basic computer knowledge, right? So how will you go about, so there are some things which are expected from a computer science student, whether you are from, cybersecurity, whether you are from data science, whether you are from SD background or anything. There are some basic things which are expected from a computer science student. इसको ये तो आता ही होगा और आना ही चाहिए, right? So those are which I told you in prerequisites. How the networks work, how the network works, how websites works, and everything. So those are the prerequisites as well as the basic knowledge every computer science student should have, right? So if you don't have that, probably you'll stuck somewhere when they ask questions, like when they ask very basic questions, right? Okay, don't annotate. Now, just coming to communication part, right? So there are two aspects of communication. One is that you actually know the stuff and you're not able to put out that stuff to the interviewer. Second is you don't know the stuff to very root level. So whenever you are going for a security interview, make sure that you know the basic things, but you know them to the root, right? You know what SSRF is. For example, for instance, if we take SSRF for an instance, you know what SSRF is. You should know everything about everything basic about SSRF. Whenever I say SSRF, there should be a mental picture in your head कि अच्छा ऐसे होता है. There is a request going from backend server to some other application. That should be in your that should be in your head the moment I say SSRF. So first thing is just clear out your basics. Just learn the basics of everything. I really, I'm like intentionally focusing on this thing. Your basics should be really strong. About the vulnerabilities, they'll ask you the basics. So I'll just tell you an anecdote about the basics. So by the time I was getting interview calls and everything, so I was interviewing with a company, very big company, a unicorn, $1 billion company. So the guy who was interviewing me had a really great experience. So that was basically for cloud security, right? So they were hiring for cloud security things. So now what happened, that guy told me that okay, we also interviewed people with people with 7 years of experience, people with 8 years of experience, but you are here, like you, I just cleared all those interviews. In the end, that guy told me that we also uh, interviewed like tens of people who are who had 7 or 8 years of experience, but we ended up selecting you because none of them were able to answer the basic questions. So even if you're going for 1 year experience or 2 experience, just clear your basics out, that are really important. And trust me on this, guys, I'm really emphasizing on this because that is really important. I have seen these things that that people ask basics and people do stuck in basics. They can never confuse you in advanced things, because you read advanced things to a very advanced level, but they'll always confuse you in basic things. So read those basic things properly. Second is second thing in communication is how good you are in telling the interviewer what is going on in your mind. So suppose if he asks me how you will exploit a vulnerability, right? So how you will do this particular step. If I'm first thing, I should be clear in my mind. Okay, again, the basics should be clear, and I should be properly putting that thing up in front of the interviewer. Just don't think that you are taking a good amount of time. Never think that. Make that thing very clear. Like, put each and everything in very clear manner. Speak out things. Speak out. This is the basic theory for interviews, right? Speak out loud. Think out loud. Sorry. So tell the interviewer what you are thinking, because that thing tells your thinking ability to the interviewer, that okay, this you can think to that extent. Are you getting what I am saying?
Yes.
Great. So I'll tell you one incident happened with me. So when I was interviewing with one company, so that was my first interview with that company, like the very first interview. And the interviewer asked me, okay, which airport is near your home? So I said, ki it's IGI airport, Delhi wala. So, okay, he said, suppose you want to, what malicious activity you can do on that airport. What malicious activity you can do on that airport. Now just understand the spectrum of this question. You can do n number of things, right? So while I was telling him, ki, okay, probably I can, uh, sneak in with a gun and hijack the plane, right? And I can just throw a bomb above the wall and do a bomb blast on the airport. I was just telling all those stuff. Then he gave me one more situation, that you have unlimited budget too. Now tell me what you can do. So these are the terrorism. Yes, it is terrorism 101. We are bunch of people, bunch of engineers, trying to hack an airport and blast it. So yeah. So he gave me one more situation. You have unlimited budget. Now tell me what you will do. So I came up with more expensive solutions. That okay, I'll just buy a fighter jet and I'll pass over the airport and do a bomb blast there. So they test your ability, especially in security interviews. They test your ability, that how much you can think of, what scenarios you can think of, to what extent you can think of. So always, first thing, just be open to your solutions. No solution is wrong. Just tell the interviewer, I'm thinking this. If it is wrong, interviewer will tell you, okay, probably not this. Can you come up with any other solution? Think out loud. If interviews are 50% your technical knowledge, then 50% your communication skills. if you are able to make the interviewer realize that okay, you are really interested in that question, and you are you're really finding out solutions to that question, there are really high chance that an interviewer will take you in. Never get intimidated by the spectrum of the question like the airport one. Then we jotted down the points and then we went on to यार वाईफाई भी तो हैक कर सकते हैं एयरपोर्ट का, जरूरी थोड़ी है पूरा एयरपोर्ट उड़ाना. That can also be a solution to that question, answer to that question. So what I'm trying to focus on is you should be able to tell the interviewer that okay, this is what I am thinking. This is actually what I am thinking. This is what is going on my mind. And second point is, I don't know, like, why do we frown upon that? Whenever you are not able to express your views in English, just to switch to Hindi. We are giving interviews in India, everybody understands Hindi. It's better to switch to a different language than not to not able to express your views on it. So always make a shift. If you're not able to make your point there, just shift to the other language and make your point there, because we all are going to be engineers, right? Engineering is a field which is independent of the language. So never let a language be a barrier in your communication. Cool stuff.
Yeah.
I guess हाँ या ना बोलना तो free है, तो
हाँ भैया.
ऐसी कोई दिक्कत नहीं है, बोल सकते हैं, right? So basic knowledge, I'll iterate over it. And now the thing is कि how will you get actually an interview call? कि अब सब कुछ हो गया भैया, मतलब आपने भी बता दिया कि हाँ इंटरव्यू में क्या बोलना है, कैसे बोलना है. How will you get an interview call? So let me give you a bad news here and a good news too, that all the FANG companies, first of all, FANG company में से Amazon and Google hires in India. Like Facebook, Apple, Netflix does not hire people in India. Actually, they generally prefer the people from abroad. Like off campus तो नहीं होता, on campus most probably होता है, but off campus rare of the rare chance, right? So the FANG companies do not hire fresher security engineers. There is very rare case that they'll hire a fresher for a security engineer role, right? But the good news is all the startups, all the unicorn startups, right? Be it Cred, be it an academy, be it Apna, be it Zomato, Swiggy, Dunzo, Zepto, and tell me some good startup names. Anyone?
Delivery.
How can I forget that? Delivery, right? And Razor Pay, Phone Pay, and what else? Okay, so enough of the names now. So these are the startups which actually hire fresher security engineers. Now, how to go by applying? You might not have seen a lot of security engineers opening on LinkedIn. So I'll tell you how I got a couple of interviews. So I got an interview call in Ola, in CloudSec, in Blinkit, which is now obviously Grofers, and obviously an academy and PhonePe, and yeah. So in last 3-4 months, I got interview call from all these companies, and I pretty much cleared all of their interviews and got the offer. Though I didn't put it on LinkedIn, I missed the trend. But yes, I got the offer and I was pretty much successful in doing so. Razorpay also. So now, most of the security teams are really small, right? So if there are 300 developers, probably there will be not more than 15 security engineers in that company. So first thing is you should be very active on LinkedIn. Now, I'll tell you how I used to do it. Go to a very, go to a startup, well-established startup, or any company you want to work in, right? Go to that company's LinkedIn. Then go to people section. So when you open on a laptop, there is a functionality called search security there, and people will all the security engineers, like most of the security engineers, will come up in the results. Send them requests, right? And whenever like they accept most of the time, because as I told you, security community is very generous in these terms, right? They accept your request and tell them, okay, hello, hi, how are you? And whenever they reply to you, hello, how are you, just text them, okay, I'm this is my name is this, I'm a final year student or a pre-final year student, I'm good at this, and is any is there any opening at your company? So many of the security engineers opening are not publicly out. There are a lot of internal hirings from referrals. So when you message people, they'll say, yes, we have an opening, or no, right now we don't have an opening, but yes, we'll tell you whenever we'll have. So it's a win-win situation for you. I've recently posted out on LinkedIn too, that if you're looking for a job or an internship or anything, just text people that, okay, do you have an opening? If they have an opening, you have a lead. If they don't have an opening, you have a connection. Now they'll remember you that, okay, this guy was asking me about an opening, and they'll revert you back whenever they'll have it. It's a win-win situation for you. That's how I got an academy. That's how I got, Blinkit. That's how I got Apna. And that's how I got into, let's say, PhonePe and all those companies. Because I don't know about SDN, but in security, people are really generous. They'll really love to refer you if you have a good profile and if you're really into security. Just go to people's, DM people that, okay, is there an opening at your company? And if yes, I am this, I do this, I'm good at this. And I would really love to work for your organization. Please do tell me if there's an opening. They'll refer you. So in security, I'll tell you, in security, referrals are much more effective if we compare that to referrals in SDE, because in SDE, hundreds of people apply through referrals too. So in that too, the HR, sorts out the resumes and selects some resumes to send the test link. But in security, there are not so many people applying for security, and not so many people, asking for openings to the actual security engineers in the company. So you actually have a really high chance. And never ever, so okay, now it will be more like a job hunting or internship hunting session, right? So never ever, feel shy in texting any of the people. I'll tell you what happened with me when I was in, I applied to Ola. So see, I texted the CISO. So CISO is the highest position in terms of security. He's the head of all this, head of the whole cybersecurity department. So I texted the CISO that, okay, do you have any position open? He said, yes. We do have an opening. We do have an opening position, open position, and I'll love to refer you. I said, okay, that's great. Thank you so much for that. And that's how I got into Ola. Like got a call from Ola. I cleared all those interviews, like whole different conversation. Why I didn't join that? But yes, that's how I got a call. Redent Labs, I personally know that guy, Shubham Mittal. He's a really amazing guy. So who was that? Root Shell. Okay, so probably he just wanted to point out Red Hand Labs. So Red Hand Labs is a really good startup. So I know Shubham Mittal. He's a really great, amazing man. You'll talk to him, you'll learn a lot. If you give an interview there, it's a good company. It's a good company, and I hope you know Shubham Mittal. He's the founder of Red Hand. So I had a conversation with that guy. He's a really amazing guy. I know him personally. Yeah, that's what I was telling you the last interview. We know people like very personally in security. If you ask me now, I know the head of security from Unacademy, from PhonePe, from Apna, from Dream11, from Sprinkler, from Red Hand Labs, from CloudSec. All these head of securities, we know each other personally. Like, okay, this is the guy working for Unacademy right now. And probably if he wants to cure fit, if he wants to make a shift, then probably it would be really easy for me to make a shift or a switch. If ever I think of making a switch in future. So that's why I tell them, okay, make connections, meet new people. So text people that, okay, this is the thing. Just give me a second, right? Just give me a second. Just leave me. I'm out of water now. Just give me a second. Okay, guys. Yes, I'm back. So I'll just iterate over the things that, okay, how it'll go, right? So are you there, Akash, or everybody has taken a ball to break? Okay, let's take a break for 5 minutes, then we'll continue. Let's take a break for 5 minutes. Meanwhile, if you have any questions, just let me know. We'll consider that a question, Vishal. Just let's take a 5 minutes break, and then we'll. If you have any questions, just send in the chat. I would love to answer that after we just get over with the 5 minutes break. Anybody from North India right now? Anybody burning? So Devraj, where are you from?
I'm from Assam.
That's great. That's a nice place. And I know the Akash is from Nepal, right? If I'm not getting it wrong.
Yes, I'm from Nepal.
That's really good. That's really nice to see you people stepping into security. Okay. It's pretty hard to speak for 1 hour continuously. Okay, we have one more question. That's great. That's really good question, actually. I would have missed that if it was not for you, Vishal. Pretty much Vishals are very active today in the chat. Vishal Kurmi, Vishal Sharma. Glad to know that.
It's quite common name.
Quite a common name. Yes, that's true. That's so true. So shall we start again?
Yep.
Okay. So talking about, so let's take the questions first. But some companies want certs. So what certification we have to do? I would say the companies do not want certs specifically. The HR wants certs. The HR wants ki, okay, there should be some certification or anything. Ki, okay, yes, this guy has done something. So if you're asking me, I would say, see, I don't have any certification, to be very honest. Right? Many of my friends don't. Okay, so let me close my WhatsApp for instance. It's a lot of messages right now. Oh. Okay. So I have so many tabs open. I sometimes I just get lost in them. So there was the WhatsApp tabs were ringing because a Punjabi singer died, shot dead actually. So they were all texting me, okay, is this true? Is this true? Sidhu Moosewala, if anybody knows that. Okay, not going into that. Yeah, so not going into that. So talking about certs, so the HR wants certs ki haan, there is some credibility, but none of my colleagues, like not none of my colleagues, but none of the people I know in security domain who've reached heights have have certifications or anything. But yes, they are good to have, not must to have, right? They're good to have, not must to have. If you have them, that's really good. If you're asking me for a beginner level certification, I would say do EJPT. Elearn Security is doing really good these days, right? And so yes, certifications are good to have, not must to have. And one certification recommendation, if you really want to do, that is EJPT. Next is, does resume building matters much in security domain? Yes, because that's the first thing that you will be, presenting to the company. So in your resume, just write your skills, the tools you know in security domain, the experience you have in security domain, like any internships or anything, the any talks you have given, any projects you have made, or any project you have made, just give a GitHub link to it. So these are basic pointers. It's not much different from security SD resume. You have to make sure that you write security stuff in that. Right? Cool stuff. Have I answered your question, Vishal? Or just Vishal left the chat after asking?
No.
Okay, are you there?
You explained quite well. Thanks.
Okay. Yeah. So the basic point is your skills, your work experience, your any talks if you have given, your projects, and yes, that any PORs. So PORs, positions of responsibility. So you should be. So in NIT, do you have that format of resumes? Because in IITs they do have a format of resumes.
Yes, we have a format provided by the CDC.
Exactly, right?
Yes.
Just follow that format. Just put in security things in that. Right. And how to bypass HRs? Get referrals. Get referrals from higher authorities like the director level employees. and all those stuff, you'll bypass the HRs easily. There's nothing, very that's not a very difficult task. Get referrals from the security team, you'll bypass HR, no issues. Is that okay, Vishal Gurmi? Great. So just do let me know if your answer is not, if your question is not answered properly. If you still have doubts, just do let me know. I'll just clarify that out. Now, winding up the session, I'm going to iterate over the things I've told you. If you for application security, go to OWASP top 10. Start from the last one, A10, and then search for that vulnerability over the internet. Portsfigure Labs is the best resource and everything, right? Then communication is the key. Just remember that doesn't matter how much you know, if you're not able to tell that to the interviewer, that's waste. You should be able to tell the interviewer that, okay, this is what I know, this is how the things are going in my head, right? Then pursuing, just make your connections, make security people in your connections on LinkedIn. Text them if they do have an opening. Whenever you feel that you're ready for interviews, just text them that do you have any opening or that. The people who are going to be in third years, just start texting, because a lot of people get internships in the third year and then get PPO. PPO must be really a known term for you people, because many of you from NITs, IITs go to companies and then get PPO from there. You can get PPO in security too. And then just don't hesitate in texting people. That's not how you're not, if you're hesitating, that's not how you're going to get a job or land a job or an internship. Just text people shamelessly. You have nothing to lose. You have everything to win. I have done that. I do not have a single regret about that. Not a little. Ask people, like, if you see a post on LinkedIn that, okay, this guy got selected in this company as a security engineer, text that person and ask them how he got into that. What were the questions he was asked? How was the whole interview process? That's what Akash did, right? That's how I know Akash.
Yep.
So probably they will be a little late in replying, because obviously they have a job to do and everything, but they'll reply. And you'll make a good connection. You'll make a connection to get referral. You'll make a connection to, get knowledge from and everything. So community is the key, actually. So yes, any questions, guys? And yes, if you are, little bit hesitating in asking questions here, I'm just sharing my social media handles. You can just text me on them, and just let me share my screen about it. Okay, it was here only. Probably I've talked a lot. So these are my social media handles: LinkedIn, Instagram, Twitter. You can connect anytime, anywhere. You can just text me anywhere. I'll be more than happy to, clear your doubts and help you out in this journey. Oh, I'm pretty on time at 6:59, and we have to wind up at 7. So guys, it was an amazing session. If you want to say anything, just unmute yourself. And yes, we can have this conversation going if you want to. Take a screenshot, Akash. I just want to post it on LinkedIn and tag you people on that.
All right.
Cool.
Does anyone have any questions? You can post your questions now.
Anybody have any? Okay.
Okay, let's wrap up. Thank you, Mr. Rupender Singh, for a lovely insight. Now I'd like to invite Akash to close the session. Akash, please.
Thank you, Devraj. Thank you to our honorable speaker, Mr. Rupender Singh, for the lovely 2-day session on your expertise on cybersecurity. It was really, really great. And I'd also like to thank the participants. You guys were so amazing. You made it really interactive. Day one was amazing. 80 was also really great. perhaps I think you guys got to learn a lot from it. Uh, I think we might even have some cybersecurity experts in our panel. We never know. I hope this will open more opportunities, job opportunities for you in the security after this session, and so on. And I'd like to thank the team members behind this. I'd like to thank the members of Achilles and OWASP for making this event successful, managing everything. You guys are amazing. Without this, it would have never been possible. This was collectively organized by Achilles, which is a technical society of NIT Rourkela, and OWASP student chapter of NIT Rourkela, if you guys didn't know. I'd like to just thank everyone from the bottom of my heart. It was really, really great. Even I got to learn so many things from Mr. Rupender. He's just amazing. And so, yeah, also, I think I'd like to share one feedback form so that we could get some of your valuable feedbacks on like how to conduct future sessions like this, right? So I'd like to share the form. Just a minute.
And there's a question by Akash. I won't leave until everybody's doubt is clear. So yes, Akash, can you please elaborate your question a bit? I'll be able to answer that more accurately.
Sir, which is the most shameless part in this, that if you text people and if they reply rudely, then
No, they don't actually reply rudely. I'll tell you. So there are two things. Either they'll not reply, or if they'll reply you politely. Just maintain your politeness that, okay, sir, this is the thing. It'll be really great if you, tell me this thing or that thing. If you're asking someone politely on LinkedIn, they'll reply politely or they'll not reply. So
just
you
like
have nothing to
professional,
lose.
that either they will be
You were about to say something? Hello, Akash.
yes sir.
You were asking something?
Yes sir, you have replied the answer that either they will reply politely or they will simply won't reply anything.
Exactly. So at that point of time, you have nothing to lose. If they don't
Okay, sir.
reply, that's the message. It's not your crush. It won't. It won't. Hit your ego. Oh shit! My crush hasn't replied to me.
Okay, sir.
It's just a person. If they reply, they'll reply politely. If they don't, you have nothing to lose. You'll just, ask the question to any other person, or
Okay, sir.
you'll just text me. I'll reply before EOD. I'll make that sure that I reply before EOD. That's my commitment to you all.
Thank you, sir.
One thing I'd like to say is if you guys are comfortable with opening your camera, we can just take a picture so that we can just take a screenshot of this for this event. If anyone is comfortable, we
Yeah,
don't have
absolutely.
much.
Yeah, I would love to. Because अगर हम उसमें होते offline mode में होते तो we would have get a selfie together.
Absolutely.
I hope we meet someday in offline mode at Rourkela.
Yes, sir.
So all right then. I think it is done.
And feedback form by Akash. If you really want to give any feedback about me too, I am all open to feedbacks. I would love to, improve at every bit of life, every stage of life. So if you have any feedback for me too, just feel free to write it.
Absolutely. If any, also the participants have feedbacks, they might share on the form.
Absolutely.
I think we are officially at the end of our session. You guys have been amazing. It was really great. The 2 days have been absolutely great. Thank you, everyone. Goodbye.
Thank you, everybody. It was really nice.